good? It's your girl, Chef Third Eye Zoe, here with you in Trive Vibe. Are you ready for some black culture, some love, and some laughs? Let's go. What's good, Tribe? How is it going? This is your girl, Chef Third Eye. Get in here. Let's get going. It's been a minute, but I'm back, baby. I wasn't going anywhere. I was under the weather for a few. Happy New Year's. Let's get into it. It's a vibe. Oh, yeah. Let's spark up something. So we can spark up this conversation. You feel me? All right. I'm glad you do. Before we get started and getting into it, today is sponsored by my own herbal tea. This is what I call the get back. And when I say the get back, I mean natural ginger, turmeric. You got St. John's wort. You got the peppermint in here. And you got some ginkgo biloba. Without these things, I couldn't be who I am today. You know what I'm saying? Yes. It's a lifestyle, holistically, I promise you. And we'll get into that on another episode. And trust me, you can get this tea on my website. I am definitely shipping out to the US of A and all other nations and countries if you need be. But most importantly, especially for middle-aged, 40, 50-year-old, herbal tea is something you should be drinking once a day. You definitely need to make sure that your body stays balanced. And it's not with pills, because pills break down your system. It's chemical imbalance. I just want you guys to understand that. So the side effects are definitely what they are. You need to tap into this herbal tea life. Hit TriveLLC.com and get you some. Go into that shop and go ahead and shop and get you some herbal tea so you can make sure, you know what I'm saying, you're doing your best every day. Because between that St. John's wort and that peppermint, it's going to heal some stuff and start breaking down some stuff. And then that ginger and that turmeric, between appetite and inflammation and just dealing with a lot of ailments, even from like diabetes to I don't know, heart problems. This right here is the only daily thing you need. No vitamins in the pill form, because all of that breaks down the system. So make sure you check out TriveLLC.com. Cheers. Whatever you drinking, let's go. Let's get into this episode. Woo. Today's episode is reparations. But before we get into it, let me catch you up. It's been a minute since my last episode. The first reason why, because I'm going to make sure I keep my audience informed, you know. And it's not like I like taking breaks. And I want to do an episode at least once a month. So trust me, we getting into it, and we're going to keep it moving. I promise you. So I was sick. Y'all, I haven't been sick in over 8 years. And that's the truth be told. Somehow I went out with a group of friends, you know, chilling, minding my black business. And here I go. One of them had whatever the fuck they had, because I never got the flu. I never got COVID. And I never got anything else that was rolling around. Because at the time it was the monkey paw, whatever. And then there was the other respiratory issue with the babies, RSV. So I got tested for RSV, COVID, and the flu. Had none of that. But I had flu-like symptoms. And when I'm talking about flu-like symptoms, it knocked me down. You hear me? Vegas was on fire. Everybody was sick. The emergency rooms and everything, beds were taken. In that time frame, though, that's when I realized holistic medicine and what it was and how it helped me to recover. That's why the first thing I opened up with was this herbal tea. And if you're watching me on YouTube and you subscribe, you see me. You see what I'm holding. You see the beauty of the layers of this tea and how it's going down. And I'm drinking every last bit of it, because I also put in here some honey and some lemon. And honey helps to just make sure everything kind of stays in the system, you know, and kind of goes in, because it's sticky, and so it lays it down. Then the lemon gives it that acidity and brings it all together. Lemon juice is good on so many levels, and all these natural flavors together is just good for the soul. Oh, yes. Anywho, getting into it, when I got sick, I was absolutely not going to take any meds. I didn't even take Theraflu, none of that. I was refusing any medications the doctors were ordering, because I am holistic. I live a holistic lifestyle. I definitely do not believe in taking pills. I have to absolutely be sick, and it must be a must, like an antibiotic or something like that, for me to have to take a pill. And so if anyone ever tells you, oh, she's hooked on, they lying, bruh, they lying. Don't you never let nobody tell you that, about me. Like, I don't do pills. I don't promote them. But if you need them, I'm not judging you. This is my personal journey. But I'm telling you that because of that, I know my system has not broken down in a lot of ways. A lot of other people's system has. So I'm very grateful for that. And in saying so, when I was deciding what regimen I was going to do to make sure I took care of, this flu-like symptoms that was going around and had me all sick and shit, I decided to put some elderberry together, some ginger. The elderberry is going to help pull all of that, mucus out your body, because that's Dr. Sebi's belief. The more mucus you have in your body, the more ailments, which is true, So I used the elderberry to pull out all the mucus. I had ginger for inflammation so that the elderberry can come out. I also used the peppermint. Peppermint is like so useful for so many different things when it comes to ailments and healing, reducing pain as well. I use peppermint in my hair. I use peppermint as a tea as far as so internally and externally I use peppermint. Peppermint is all around a very good herb to have on hand if you grow it, or if you have it in an oil form. Make sure it's all organic. You've got one of the best healing things you'll ever know. So the way I use peppermint in my hair too is like when I cut my hair, instead of using like a witch hazel or any other antiseptic, I use peppermint all around. And I just cut my hair yesterday, so you can see I don't have any like scars and stuff. If you're watching, the beauty of having a subscription. But go on the channel or go on my podcast different locations like Apple Podcasts and all that stuff, and you can subscribe. So therefore, you can get the video as well. You can get all my outtakes and all that good stuff. So it's a little more, interactive for my followers who really want to get into it and see all the visual, because I'm a visual learner myself, and I think that helps. And I definitely appreciate everyone that subscribes. Thank you guys for your support. It means so much to me, and I'm going to continue to do what I can do based on your feedback, to make this a better podcast so people can come support and understand what's going on. So now getting back to my regimen, and like I said, everything was in its natural form. The elderberry, the ginger, the peppermint, and I was definitely drinking. And that was like, for one, I didn't have an appetite for about a week, because this carried on and lingered on for a good 3 weeks, to be honest. I couldn't talk, like my throat and everything was messed up. I had a bad cough, and I never got a fever, and that's a blessing. And I never had it to turn into pneumonia or go into my chest. It was just always like a nasally type thing. So I'm very thankful. And the thing about it is, and I think because here in society nowadays, everything needs to be fast, quick, and rapid. That's why people will quickly take a pill to be done with something. But I promise you, long term, for the fast effects of a pill, you have the long-term effects of the side effects, which can ultimately kill you depending on what you're taking and what you're taking it for. Do you guys actually ever read the warnings or read what's in what you're taking? You need to take a little minute and just read, the description of the things you're taking, and definitely the side effects. You'll be surprised, and then you'll probably say oh my gosh, that's why this is going on, and that's why that is going on. And indeed it is, because you're putting a chemical and it's changing your body chemistry. So therefore, your body is not able to combat every single thing that is in that chemical reaction. And this is just like when you take chemistry and you learn about the different, elements and things, and you see how they work together to make certain things, so I promise you, everything I'm saying, you can go check it out. Get a chemistry book, look in the back of the labels, be very much so on point, and just really be educated on what you're putting into your body, because your body is your temple. I'm sitting here smoking this blunt, but this is about the last of the blunts I'm smoking, and I have transitioned to smoking joints and just really raw papers, and I may do a leaf cigar, but yeah, the blunts and all that shit is to go. And I'm telling you that, and I should have been done with them. All the knowledge that I have, this tobacco definitely does fuck with your lungs and fucks with your system. And it's not something that is a joke. Over time, that tar lays in your lungs and all that stuff. As much as I like to smoke weed, I'm gonna be honest with you, throw this shit away. Let's start smoking these joints. Get you a bowl. Where my bowl at? get you a bowl, get you a bong. You know, I got both of them, but I don't have them right here at my disposal to show you. But I normally do, so which is funny, but it's all good. You know what I'm saying? We're here to get the word out to the people because we're a tribe, right? So we're going to leave these blunts alone. We're going to go to joints and, you know, all other sorts of natural ways to get elevated. And then we're going to stay away from anything other than that, you know. And another thing I'm definitely thinking about doing and starting to engage in is shrooms. I've never had anything but weed in my life. So all my followers who are into shrooms, y'all please help me on a journey to start what I need to know where I can start, because it is psychedelic. And that's the part, I guess, because me with control, it's like, oh my gosh, I don't want this thing to control me. But at the same time, it's a way to release. And I need that in my life. I don't always want to be in control of things. The older you get, you want different things. And to be honest, that's where I'm at. So now, I was sick, started getting back healing, couldn't talk, didn't want to be on here, stressing my voice and sounding really raspy and bad. I wanted to give a clear production. You know what I'm saying? And that mattered to me because I started getting feedback. And I definitely want to thank the early on supporters who have been, you know, telling me things and giving me feedback in reference to my podcast. I'm looking forward to having guests on. Anyone who's about the Black community, seeing us advance, you have ways for us to advance. If you're currently in the community as a community organizer, a community leader, in anything, peer support, whatever, I definitely want to have you on the show. Let's talk about your contributions, how it's helping our people get better or move further. I don't care where you're located. We can do podcasts remote. We can do podcasts on deck. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. This is modern day technology. If you really want a voice and you need an avenue to get it out, let me know. And then don't forget about the other subscription where you can advertise your business. And that is the Black Label. And it's definitely so many perks with that, because remember, the podcast episodes just stay up and people can come back and listen to them, so they will see your information and you'll be, you know, getting promoted constantly and continuously and infinitely. Because as long as it's up, I'm on Apple, I'm on Spotify, I'm on freaking, really, you name it, Amazon. I'm like, hold on a second, I'm on Anchor. Let me give you just, you know, the things that this podcast is on, so that you can understand that when you have your business to advertise, you want it to get as much exposure as possible. So why not come on with Trive and then, you know, put it out there. I even got my RSS feed up, so if you want to add it to your website, if you want to make it a connection, like a certain episode I have, you can do that too. Let's work, you know what I'm saying? Let's definitely support each other and get these businesses out there that are giving to the Blacks, giving back to Blacks, and promoting Blacks. Because at the end of the day, based on even this topic today, you're going to be like, okay, yeah, we need to link up and we need to do more, because all of this, whatever we have, you know, that we don't agree on, we need to find a way to come to an agreement. We need to find a way to continue to love on our brothers and sisters, because the separation is giving other cultures and groups the fire they need to keep us in this state. And it's a mental thing. It's not a physical thing. We all know that. You know what I'm saying? So today, saying all of that, oh, wait a minute. Let me catch you up some more. So now I'm moving everything to my website, and as far as I'm starting to put the videos out. The reason I haven't put YouTube videos out there, because y'all know I want to, and y'all know I got a lot of footage to put out there, is I'm having this issue with Adobe. And it's doing something with the color when I try to, you know, post it. So if anybody has a fix for that, let me know. I'm going to continue to work with it, and then maybe just put some stuff out there, some short videos through my other means of uploading video. But, you know, with Premiere, Adobe Premiere, you can chop it up and do all that good stuff. So what's another program that I can use pretty compatible with Adobe Premiere? It doesn't have to be on a Mac format. I have a Mac and a PC. And that's going to give me a great quality production. And then saying that, I went to the Magic Show. That was dope, y'all. The Magic Show, if you don't know, is a retail manufacturing show here that happens at least twice a year here in Vegas. And what happens is people around the world come, and vendors who are either manufacturers or who need certain things manufactured. And that's in the retail space with clothes and other accessories, from underwear, belts and shoes and whatever. So there's a place where you can come here in Vegas and get your own shoe made and then have it on the market, whatever you want to do, design, materials, and all of that stuff. That's what the magic show is about. So with Trive, if you've been watching, and thanks for those again who started to support and follow so early, I'm about to put in some pre-orders for some of the clothes and stuff that I've gone, because now I have the manufacturers to make the things I want the way I want them, instead of going to get a Hanes shirt and putting Trive on it. I'm not feeling that. The level of quality and the things that I present, that will always delay me on putting something on the market, because I want it to be quality. And I don't want you to wear something where it shrinks up, or, you can wear it one time and then it fades and all that stuff. I want you, if you're going to spend your money with me, especially my brothers and sisters, that is worth it and that you can really wear the fuck out of it. I'm on my Telfar shit, like for real. Clement Telfar, Liberian designer, one of the best, got that bag, you know what I'm saying? Definitely respect, and you got to put respect on his name, because he took years to get his damn designs right, the quality just the way he wanted it, and then boom, now them bags are just blazing. Did y'all see the new duffel bag on the Telfar? I gotta get one of them. That chocolate about to drop. I don't know. I'm confused at this point, because then it'll be another color I want. I just be like, oh, gotta get that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to damn Clement Telfar. I would love to model something. Maybe the duffel. I don't know. Hook a sister up. Come on the show. Talk. Let's talk. For real. Let's talk about this design journey. Let's talk about what it is to be Liberian. You know what I'm saying? And LGBTQ. I can feel you, 100% on that one. And so getting into the industry, knowing people like that and knowing what they have out there, I don't want to just come out with whatever, y'all. So have patience with the process. It's coming, especially that African print. I'm holding on to that so damn, close, because I want that to be like, oh my God, I want that shit to be on robes, royalty. I want that to be on some spreads and sheets and pillows and blankets and damn scarves and stuff, next level stuff. I'm not just trying to put it on a t-shirt. Come on now. Like this, I made this shit. This is a bleached, then it's ripped, then it's got some dang bling on it that say dope. See, another reason why you should subscribe, so you can see what I'm talking about. Then it's a hoodie. Man, listen, that's like, I'm on God, and anybody who knows me knows I've had this about 5 years, and look at it. Quality's still there. And really, for real. And that's the one thing people got to understand, man, when you put stuff out here. Just because they want to make us look bad, you got to make sure you come correct, and when you don't and people give you that feedback, don't be mad. Take it. Switch it up, build on it so you can make for a better product. But yeah, I'm going to start with the pre-orders. So make sure you get the stuff out there. And then the production time, I'm not going to lie, some maybe 4 to 6 weeks. So that'll be the time. But when you get it, you're going to get a package of whatever item plus some branding stuff. We're going to have a package of stuff and a thank you note. You know what I'm saying? I'm figuring some type of branding sticker, whatever item you order, and a thank you note, out the gate. Because the appreciation level to really fuck with me like y'all do on the food, on the merch, on the videos, on the production, on the podcast, like, I appreciate it. Like, I don't even have the words to tell you how much I appreciate it. But I do, And if you see me right now, you see these damn hands like from the turmeric. So I really was damn grinding some turmeric this morning, fresh. I promise you, I had to have it. So I think I've caught you up on business, personal, like in the Airbnb. What I'm doing now is I'm going to start doing some more upgrades, and I definitely still have guests coming in, but the Super Bowl's coming up, and I'm putting together a package. So if you want to get the whole shebang, let me know. We can work together. It can include food, drink, all of that. Okay? Because the Super Bowl's going to be real. Then I can come and cook for you, maybe tailgate or whatever, but then I'm going to get out and let y'all do whatever y'all want to fucking do. It's the Super Bowl. All right? Look up services on Trive LLC, and you can easily get with me on any event that you want to have. You want me flown the fuck out. You want to come here to Vegas. You just want drinks. I bartend, I chef. Let's go. All right? And as we getting ready to go, let's get into this episode. Because this episode, y'all, is called Reparations. Reparations. What y'all know about that? Wow, this is going to be an interesting conversation because some people right now are already listening because they're pissed. They want to know what the fuck do I have to say about reparations now? Black woman, black person. We getting tired of hearing about reparations. Blame our forefathers. They did that shit. We ain't have nothing to do with slavery. Then, how dare you ask for something? We already give you enough. Y'all got these food stamps and all this other stuff, all these equal opportunity, all of this other stuff, that we giving y'all. Why in the world will we give you anything else? Don't you have enough? Who's heard these things before? So I went ahead and put them out there because I didn't want us to pretend like we didn't know where we were with this reparation stuff, especially from the envelope people. They really don't fuck with us with this reparations. And I appreciate the governor of California for trying to put something together. But let me just say this, and let me make it clear when I say this. There is no other group that's going to be bunched with us to have reparations. There isn't anything about anybody else that needs to be put, together. We don't need to do reparations with Hispanic. I don't care. Whatever they have going on, you guys work with them and work it out. Because the Japanese, the Native Americans, they didn't split reparations with any other group. They got it straight out for their group. And we'll go into that. We'll dive into that. So how dare anyone want to tell us that, for one, our reparations is going to be given to a certain community and we're going to have to do this? No, we don't owe anybody anything with our reparations but to receive it and to receive a true apology for slavery. And this is just reparations for slavery. We could talk about so many other things, but because slavery ties into so much, people don't even understand how deep this conversation is. This is why this is the episode 1 of reparations, because this will be a series, because it has to be. This conversation has to be continued. And the thing about Tribe, I'm not just here to talk about an issue. I'm not just here to talk about the people, who are against us in the issue, but I'm also here to find resolutions and to introduce them to the situation so that we can know how to move accordingly, So I don't just come here to fuss about it, but I also come with resolve. So let's get into this reparations. Now, who deserves reparations is the first question that I want to discuss, right? All right. Point blank period. The short answer is the slaves and descendants of slaves. That's the people who deserve reparations. And black slaves, African slaves, all right? Because it started there and it came here. One thing I want to get clear about the slavery thing, and I want to make sure that we put this on the book so you can start understanding it and let this be what you understand moving forward, and take that other conversation off the table. Slavery was initiated by the Portuguese in Africa. And the initial slaves were criminals of war or prisoners of war. So when you had a rival tribe and you fought them and they lost, you took in, their people and they worked for you, and they were indentured to you or whatever. So when the Portuguese came, they decided that not only were they going to take those people, but they were going to treat them badly. They were never going to allow them, because when we took slaves, they just worked with us. Like, they had to do our labor and stuff. But as far as unless they really did something, there were people that were actually prisoners of war, and then there were captives who actually now became part of the tribe and, had to do things that we did in that individual tribe. And that's something you have to understand, because us as Africans, we never did anything malice other than war when we were against you, and we were doing bows and arrows and rocks and stones and stuff like that. And then here comes the Portuguese and the white man with the guns. So we learn about how to use guns, and then that's when it gets lethal to that extent. But before, we're, killing animals with these same weapons. We're killing our rivals who may be trying to steal our food or take over our land. That's what we're fighting for, as an individual. But we're not going to purposely steal people to take them back to work our lands, or to rape them, or to treat them badly, put them in experiments and stuff like that to see what, vile things that we can do or we can't do. We weren't into that stuff. The Portuguese introduced that to Africa, and it was Western and Central Africa per se. It wasn't that was something that we were just doing. So the Americans and the Africans, we need to let that, oh, you sold your people and this is why. No, we were fooled into thinking that they were doing the same thing that we were doing. And then we wanted to trade for other goods, you know what I'm saying, and perhaps services. So when we started to learn what they were doing, then that's why slavery went from 1776 to 1865. Because once, and it ended a little earlier in Africa, because once the Africans found out what were happening to their people, they cut it off, you know. So that's the missing link that a lot of people don't understand, like the time frame of slavery, how long it lasted, and, you know, who was rightfully so a slave. So you have the African slaves that initially came over, and due to rape and due to, you know, incest and all the other stuff that the white slave owner allowed to happen on the plantation to produce more stock as they saw it, you know, they were able to create, you know, American slaves as well as African slaves. And then as time went on, eventually the African slaves died off because they weren't no longer being shipped over. And then they were just American slaves, which then American slaves became freed slaves. And then they had children who then became working, you know, individuals into the society. And then here we are today. So that explains the connection of why there's slaves and their descendants of slaves. So you have slaves from Africa who have family over there who rightfully get reparations. And you have family here in America who rightfully so get reparations. And that is something, another point that people clearly need to understand, who gets reparations and why. And it's not only for, because reparations, in a nutshell, let me give you the definition. It's payment of years of bondage and inhumane treatment of slaves and of their descendants. And I have to say slaves and their descendants because the treatment never stopped. We went from slavery to systematic racism and systematic oppression. You hear me? We went from, I'll say it again, we went from slavery to systematic racism and systematic oppression. There was no in between. And the slavery got so bad, it overlapped when supposedly it was over. And we know that because that's why we celebrate what? Juneteenth, right? Okay. So because we celebrate Juneteenth is when the slaves were still slaves down in Texas. Nobody knew. And we also found out recently there were some other pockets of slavery, like down in Mississippi, where there was a camp and the white men were going and getting freed slaves, bringing them back in there, telling them they couldn't leave, putting them into mines and making them work in the mines, and they were dying and they were burying them right on the land and making the other slaves bury them on the land. And now no one will eat anything from that land. Do y'all know that? And from time to time, bones and stuff pop up out of that land. Did y'all know that? And that's the thing, like, I'm not going to get deep into it, but I'm just going to mention, you know, this critical race theory thing these white people are scared of. And it's because the fact of it's the truth about the slavery and truth about everything else that happened, instead of making it cute and cuddly and putting it in a nice package and letting our kids know Christopher Columbus came and all this stuff. Just lie after lie, you know. So these unseasoned lies are now what they want us to have in these history books and to feed to our children. And at some point, the lies have to stop. At some point, the bullshit has to, you know, be called on bullshit. And you can't keep telling kids a lie and they go home and they have intelligent parents or they have an environment that's, you know, lifting them up and they know it's not the truth. Like, why would you even want someone to be told a lie just to make you feel better? That's the deeper question. And this is what we go back to reparations about. So now we know the slaves and the slave descendants, you know, are the people who deserve reparations. Then what actually should reparations be? That's going to be till the end, because that is something that's going to kind of tie in once I tell you why we deserve it. So the inhumane treatment was so bad. You know, people, of course, were dying, being hung, being beaten, being buck broken, being raped in front of their families, committing incest because the slave owner wanted you to breathe the same thing, being raped, you know, by the slave owner and having children. and they being there, and now those are some interracial kids, and then those are kids, that were born out of this whole hypocrisy, man. And the thing is, way back then, the law that was put into place that was recently reversed had to do with this same raping the women and then having these interracial kids. So HR 8404-177 put into law by Congress in 2021-2022 session is called Respect for Marriage Act. A lot of you guys thought that was about gay rights and the gays being able to get married. That wasn't what that really was about. There was also on the books here in America, up until this law, that the product of an interracial relationship could not claim land. This kept a lot of children who were conceived via rape by the slave masters. Listen to me now, follow me now. By the slave masters, kept them from land because they were children of rape and could not claim land. This law just went into effect to reverse it 2021-2022. So when we think in all these years, like we are overcoming in so many ways, and I can think for a definite fact, the state of Virginia would not allow interracial marriage. And you can quote me up until a certain time based on this law. Okay? So you guys need to understand how deep that is. And now, based on this law, is another reason why a part of reparations should be about environmental, meaning that we also deserve land. Okay? Not just monetary, but environmental. We also deserve land. Because it was literally put on the books, we couldn't get the land that we deserved being a product of rape. How sickening can that be? Where's your mindset that you will already rape a woman and then go behind that and rape her again, her generations to come? How sickening can you be? But then you want to say that, oh, our ancestors did that. Your ancestors kept us from our land, which you are living on, redlining us, keeping us on another side of it because you want it. The most hurtful thing that's happened recently, I feel, about this whole ownership of land and us getting our land back is with the Bruce family. The Bruce family in California had beachfront property. They went to the organization, and I'm going to include this organization in the notes. And I'm sorry I didn't write the name of it down right now, but I'm going to see if I can find it right quick while I'm on production and give it to you. But the name of this company helped them sue the state of California and get their land back. They got their land back and then they sold it. So, Bruce family, if you ever hear this podcast, I really would like you to speak on that. And I get that it was in zone for what you wanted to do, but that's generational wealth, baby. You could have just sat on it, paid the taxes on it, and waited till the zone may have changed or try to find something accommodating to that zone. But you had generations that literally died broke because, that land was not accessible to them because it was stolen. And then you get it back to sell it again. That wasn't the right move. And I'm just going to be perfectly honest. I don't care. 20 million, if I'm not mistaken, that's how much, that you got and all of that. It wasn't worth it. Nowhere near worth it. Nowhere near worth it. And if I'm wrong, please get me right. Please reach out. I would love to have you on the show. I would love to have you on the show talking about why you felt the need to sell this land back to the state or the city. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like that journey and how you felt about it overall. That would really, I don't know. It would put my mind at ease because right now it's confusing on why somebody would do that, But hey, everybody has their choices in life to make, and I get that. But we as blacks, we got to do better about generational wealth. We have to understand that, that's something that we can continuously give our families, and it's not all about us just here right now. The part of working so hard and for your family to have is to continue to have. If you just want to enjoy while you're here, then you don't understand what family truly is, and you got to get your mind right because you definitely want to make sure you leave something so that they don't have to stress, oh, we got land. I mean, we got land. If you don't like the house, knock it the fuck down, build another one on it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like the house, you can't afford another house, knock the fuck down, throw a 10 up. It's your land. You can do whatever the fuck you want on it. And it really makes me feel a type of way because I know like now I own land here in Vegas and I planted a tree out there. So not only is that something that I'm telling everybody you need to do when you do get land, because that's another way to claim it. Like when somebody ever tries to take this land from me or whatever, that tree being planted is documented that I did it. And if nothing else, I lived here for a period of time. My deed and everything else will have the rest of the proof and the paperwork that I have. So I don't know where this mentality came from. I'm sure it was the white man selling it to us that when we buy property, in order to get another property, we need to sell that property. No, hold on to that. You ain't living in it, rent it out. You don't want to rent it out, Airbnb it out. You don't want to do neither of those, put your family in there, let them go to school, let them get the credit for, living off campus and paying you some of that money from their dang on financial aid. Make it make sense. But stop selling your land. And I'm telling you that like for real. It doesn't make sense to do that because at the end of the day, you sell your land, you don't have anything to be on. They kick you out. Where you going to go? Make it make sense. Okay? Like for real. If it's just a little bit, you still start with a little bit and then go from there. Like right now, I can go stay at a freaking hotel and rent my spot out and be able to pay for both places. And y'all know that right now. That's how the market is right now. Y'all know that for certain. So hold on to what you got. Okay? Stop being so quick to sell stuff because, like, quick money ain't always good money. And I can tell you that on a lot of different things. Like, I don't know why y'all think that is. You hear a mill and you're like, oh, gosh, I never seen a mill before. I'm going to be a millionaire. But then you get the millionaire, you get the taxes taken out, and then you don't know what the hell else you're going to do. And then that's a flop. You done lost that mill. That's that quick, But you can take equity out that house, go buy something, put it into a business, get it upgraded. You know what I'm saying? There's options that you have once you have a home. If you don't like the way it looks, switch that shit up. Pay that mortgage, keep it up, double up on it, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But make smart decisions, especially when it comes to owning land. Okay? It's not apartment life. It's not, I don't want to mow the lawn or whatever. Get somebody else to do it. You know what I'm saying? But baby, whatever you do, make sure you hold on to your land. Because this is why we're here right now with this whole reparation stuff that I'm talking about. Because we're owed land in a lot of different ways. We got these companies out here, even nonprofits out here, trying to help us get the land back, And it's like, y'all don't understand. There's literally like the University of Alabama. There's a family right now fighting to get their land back because their land was taken and their grandmother had planted a tree, or great-grandmother. And that's the only way they knew that was their land. There's no way in denying that. That tree is there till this day. Because even if they had tried to cut it down, it still would have been a stump. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said plant a tree. Okay? And yes, I by myself planted a tree. And you get the small ones, not the big ones in. And then you go from there. Okay? So give me a second. Let me see what this, because I really want to give this business some exposure. If you have land that someone's keeping from you, your family own land, you got ways to prove it. And, here's some ways to prove that you have land. Pictures. Y'all have orators. Somebody continually telling the story about where y'all own land and stuff. Do the research on what they saying. Somebody's written down somewhere. You find some old deeds somewhere. All that stuff is a clue you may have land somewhere. Trace it. Stop playing. Okay? Hold on one second. Let me look this thing up right quick. Let's see. Bruce family update. My bad, y'all. Alright. They talking about Bruce Willis. I'm really gonna put this other family's information on here because they deserve a lot of credit. They deserve a lot of credit for doing the lawsuit and what they're doing for families right now in reference to getting their land back. Now, back to this reparations. Let's talk about some other groups that have already gotten reparations and, we still haven't gotten anything. Like zero. Every time it's brought up, it's a reason why not. Listen now. we in Ukraine, we giving Ukraine weapons, we giving Ukraine's guns blazing everywhere, bombs dropping from the sky, we giving them money, all stuff. We got our president coming in, gliding in on a train, okay, to show solidarity to Ukraine, but us niggas in here dying on the streets, he can't pop up. And it's not him, it's all the presidents, including Obama. Like, nobody's doing nothing about black reparations. And honestly, to my heart of hearts, I don't care how anybody feels about this, but I feel like you feel that you know how much you've done. If you give us something, we're going to do the right things with it. We can literally probably flip the economy. You know what I'm saying? And that's your fear. It's always this fear of, oh, we're going to overcome. But you got to realize you've been keeping somebody so down forever. I'm not going to sell you the lies about oh, no, we're not going to overcome. And it's not about fighting. It's not about killing. It's more about establishing and doing better instead of always suffering when we really shouldn't have been suffering in the first place because we've been taken advantage of all these many of years. And then you want to try to mentally enslave us to say, oh, we didn't do it to you. But you're living off the wealth of what your ancestors did to our ancestors. Like literally, when you stole the land, you then produce whatever goods or services off that land. And whether it's a farm, whether it's now a university, you're reaping the rewards of that. And you're not sharing. But then you want to cap on how much you feel that you owe us and want to then group us together because like you acting like we're not responsible enough to have the money or to spend the money, or I don't know what the mindset is, but it's monkey-like, because only a monkey's going to think they're going to swing from the branches and keep getting bananas and nobody else want bananas or nobody else going to get bananas. Like, that's straight monkey. So stop fucking monkeying around and allow black people to live like you want to live. Like, you're literally stealing from us and living off our wealth, calling us poor, calling us nasty, calling us trash, calling us welfare and this other stuff. But you're keeping this noose around our necks, your knee on our necks, whatever negative you want to say, because you don't give us the room to breathe. We try to breathe. We create products, bring them to the market. For years, you wasn't allowing us to even patent our own stuff. Then you was experimenting on our women, through science and creating devices, and we didn't get paid for that either, And it's like, at what point do you realize that you need to stop playing with people and thinking that it's okay? Like, you really think that after all these centuries and years that it's not to a point where we're tired? The ultimate thing we need to do, is to remember that regardless of what, we're a people and we're human. And we can't keep on taking hits because it's not fair to us as a human being. Like, no one asks us to be whatever skin tone. No one. And for anyone to put stigmas on people, to treat them a certain way, to deny them anything is very hurtful at the least. But to do it and to be so visible about doing it and then to say this is the best country ever, it's not. And here's the caveat in this. It's not your fucking country. It's not your country to the point of you came here, you stole the land from the Native Americans, then you decided to give it back to them. Then on that stolen land, you started creating shit and then keeping the people who worked their damn hands to the blood, to the death, us black folk, off of it. The railroads, the damn stores, the bridges, all of that stuff. Our hard work built that shit. Then we went and fought war for you. Then, now you don't want us to vote. You're tying our hands, trying to make it so difficult to do that. You don't want us to have a voice. Why? And the thing is, the voice that you have is a lot of bullshit. It's not like what you're doing and things you're saying is like golden. No, there's a lot of corruption. There's a lot of damn white collar crimes, as y'all call it. You're stealing a lot of big money, and why you're calling us the thieves and the whatever you want to call us. I have to keep it a buck on this podcast. Like, I have to, because this is my only space where I really get to speak my mind about truly what's going on. And there's no denying it. You sit there and you make laws and rules and stuff to accommodate the white way of life. But the white way of life has stolen from every culture. You living in a country, calling it your country, talking about how your forefathers fought for it, but you literally use slaves too to fight for a country, that you stole from the Indians, because black people, you have to understand, we were on every continent before slavery. We were on every, hear me, we were on every continent before slavery. On this continent alone, Metamucil is a African prince who came, or excuse me, king, who came to the U.S. to do business and wrote $1 million check back in the 1400s. Y'all don't hear me. Do your research. You know what I'm saying? And then we have African man Yasuki who came to who went to Japan and he learned how to do, martial arts and started training a group of women who still exist in Japan till this day. So it's like, and this was again before slavery. Whoever is ignorant enough to think that black people didn't go anywhere but Africa before then, the continents were joined at the time. So therefore, people were walking over to China. People were walking to the continent of Asia, to Europe. And the Black Plague, another thing that happened, around slavery. The Black Plague was cleaned up by black Moors that came from northern Africa and showed the white British people how to clean and how to, and then they started leaving Europe because of the Black Plague. And that's how they ended up in the U.S. because they were trying to get it, because most of them died. A lot of whites died coming over here from Europe during the Black Plague and stuff, with the Pilgrims and all that stuff, and the Indians and that bit of history. So let me not digress, but please understand that, slavery was something that didn't have to happen to us, and it happened to us, and it was a purposeful thing because people wanted to use labor for free however they got it. And it wasn't about, they wanted to trade labor for other, goods that they had, like gunpowder, food, different types of things. But we giving them from early start palm, rubber, you know what I'm saying? And they're coming and taking people and then killing them or putting them into slavery. And then when you get into slavery, you're being buck broken. A lot of the men, they not the masters having sex with them. They're having sex in front of other people. Like they're having sex with these men in front of other men, and these men are perfectly straight. What do you think that's mentally going to do to a man? Even a human being alone. And for, years, we endured this type of treatment, but you don't think we deserve reparations for it? Like, it wasn't as if you just put us to work. You killed us. You beat us. You molested us. You raped us. You choked us. You gave us the worst of the worst food, and then we made stuff like chitlins and, black eyed peas, collard. Like, we created food. It's called soul food from this. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you want to take that too, and create other posh stuff with it. You got to stop at some point. You got to understand at some point you're just damn wrong. And that's what it is. You're just damn wrong, because out of all the groups, and let me give you some other groups that have received reparations, exactly what it was. We got the Japanese. They were put in a concentration camp like around slavery time, early 20s or whatever, and they were forced to build railroads. So, and that lasted, I think, about 5 to 10 years. I'm not sure on the time that it lasted, but I know Ronald Reagan in 1988, the Civil Liberties Act gave each one of these former detainees $20,000. Okay? Then American Indians, the Land Claims Commission law from 1946 gave the Indians in all 176 tribes and organizations $1.3 billion. All right? So those are two groups that have been compensated reparations for things that they have, been through. Do not get me wrong in saying that by any means the monetary amount or whatever reparations was given was fair or was the best that the American government could have done, because I don't feel it is. But I'm not speaking on behalf of the Indian and the Japanese. I'm speaking on behalf of the Black Americans, the Africans, and all of the descendants who have been adversely affected by slavery. And then after that, the systematic oppression and the systematic race system based off of the slavery and their ancestors, in which we continue to face till this day. Not only in the justice system, but even in the housing system, just trying to even get suitable housing and fair housing. From owning a house to getting a house appraised, like the whole process for us is fudged. Like, we don't have the American dream. We will never truly experience the American dream as a black American, which is sad. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you have to start thinking, black people, is this the best place for us to be? Should we actually waste our time trying to enrich something, even though we helped build it, but it went to shit? It's going to shit because the level of respect is not there for the people. Like, at what point do you see the suffering that you have put upon us and take your fucking knee off our necks? You know, like, you can't keep saying that we need to do this to get this. We don't owe you shit. We put in the work. We literally have built this country. If anybody should be claiming, oh, this is our country, this is our forefathers. But no, you got these racist groups, the Proud Boys and all this other stuff carrying around the flag. You know what I'm saying? After you stole it from several groups to then say this is what you're fighting for, you sound fucking dumb, retarded, and damn near stupid. You sound that way. And when I see it every time, it makes me laugh on the inner inside to know that someone is that ignorant that they're literally taking the time to wave a flag that's got blood on it, that's got unseasoned lies on it, that's got stolen land on it. None of it's yours. None of it is yours. And I don't give a damn who gets mad. It's the real. And that's the shit, the reason why you want to keep it out the history books. It's the exact reason. You know what I'm saying? Because if the shit was yours, it's clear. It's clear as day, you know? Lord knows it took us till, 3-4 years ago, during the damn Black Lives Matter movement, to take some of y'all damn crazy ass monuments down. Lord knows. Then now, some of y'all starting to admit you actually stole the land, you know? It's not your land. But here comes the craziness. You don't want to give it back, or you don't want to pay what is owed. You want to dummy down. Like, no. You be giving all kinds of crazy money for dumb shit, like war in Ukraine. And I'm saying dumb shit because it's really second nature to what's going on in your own country. You got racism. You got people dying at the hands of cops. You got gun control out of fucking control. Like, out of fucking control. That's definitely a future episode. You got kids and women being raped and, you know, taken advantage of in so many different ways. You trying to go backwards with some of the things you got in place for women. And then you want to make it seem like you're the best of the best. You're not. And you're showing your ass crack on this one for real. So humble thyself and understand that we don't want no fucking sharing of our reparations. And it should be money and it should be land. And I've already given you the reasons why. Spike Lee couldn't have said it better when he said 40 acres and a mule. But that's just the land part. I'll go for that. You know what I'm saying? But we deserve the whole fucking shebang for real. Yeah, and you know it. You know, before California was Cali, which is named after Queen Cali, which is an African queen. Y'all don't know that. Okay? Blacks were running Cali. And that's the thing. The shit ain't in the history books, y'all. Y'all got to crack some books outside of that. We got to stop sticking to what somebody's telling us in the classroom. And we do have to promote, and we do have to go after getting our true history told. The true, not even our true history, just the true history told. Because the true history told is that this is our land. We shouldn't have to be fighting for it. We're being treated unfairly by far on it. And the people who we worked so hard for and enslaved us just to be here refuse to give us our true freedoms and rights equally, or a good place to live. Because you put us beside factories that are giving us bad, you know, like there's sure enough a factory right across the street from my house. Lord knows what it's putting into my system and our systems, you know. And then there's the military base right around the corner. But in your neighborhood, you want to have trees and parks and park horses and stuff like that, which again is systematic and it's an insult and it is a health risk, you know. But instead of being honest about that, you stick us over there. You don't want to give us free medical. Like, every black person in the system, descendants of slaves and slaves, should be having free medical care, should have free taxes. And I'm saying this like so legitimately, I'm not even blinking on these things, just for the simple fact of the matter. All the injustice that have been done and is still being done to the whole group of people. Absolutely should not be paying taxes. Absolutely should have free health care. If you want us to be sitting in these bad zones, bringing bad meats into the grocery stores, giving us outdated or near expired medications, you should damn sure give us free health care. And that's another reason why I'm holistic, is because there's so much bullshit behind the medication, where it's coming from, the food, where it's coming from. You know, I can't wait till I get me a farm, and that's another reason. Another thing we got to fight for. It's like some black nomads out here them bought big farms. They fighting out in Colorado, Utah, and all that. I'm seeing y'all. Y'all please tap in with me. Please, I'm begging. Reach out to me. Come on the show. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how these things are being affected and how our reparations have not been given, and our land is being taken away. And when we go try to reclaim our land, we're being threatened and wanting to. Why do you not want to share something you stole? Like, damn, stop being so damn greedy. It's one thing you done already stole it and you're lying about that. Then it's another thing to damn want to damn have it in somebody's face and then talking shit to them all the time, knowing you done stole it. Like, for real, we not dumb. We not dumb, but how dumb you gonna keep getting with your bullshit? How arrogant, how assholish are you gonna keep getting? You got the audacity to steal something from somebody, and then they're able to, by God's grace, get it back, and then you want to be threatening them and burning crosses and shit. Put one in my fucking yard. I'm going to put it in your ass. And that's real fucking talk. The fuck? Y'all be knowing who to do that bullshit to. Do that to me. For real. I will stick that shit right up the damn... Y'all got me on here. Okay. I had to get my Krishan Rock right. Oh, okay. Okay. Because y'all already know. Shit. For real. We not accepting less, black people. I had to look at my notes. We not accepting less than what we're owed. Stop accepting less. Don't go to no... excuse me. Don't go to no damn city council meeting, city hall meeting, town hall meeting, whatever the hell y'all call them in y'all local area, talking about some, let's do this for reparations. Nah, if everybody ain't on board, reparations is not no fucking state to state, county to county, city to city. Reparations is nationwide, bruh. Y'all owe us on a bigger scale. And I ain't even trying to damn feel no two ways about saying it. You owe us on a big ass scale, yo. You took a lot of pride and joy, lives, you know what I'm saying, land. Look at Greenwood. Like, there's times in history where you literally saw us coming up and burnt that shit down. Like, why? Why are you so mad to see black people come up? Why does that bother you when you've taken it from us? And again, it's that fear. It's that fear of thinking somebody gonna come up and want to do something to you. But we don't have that mindset. We're not animalistic like that. That's where you get us all fucked up. And I had to keep it a buck with you. We're not, and I said that at the beginning of this podcast. Like, even at war, it's understood war, but after that, it's over. We're not coming back to enslave you and rape your women and all this other bullshit. In war, though, because anybody's going to war is going to want to tell the next motherfucker, don't fuck with me on no level. And this is why. You know, so you nuts in war. But just on a regular day, you snatching motherfuckers up, putting them in you know, chains and shit, taking them from their families. That's that monkey shit. I can't say that enough. That's that monkey shit. Then we over here trying to make it. Then you put us against each other. Man, listen. Right now, I want to do a moment of silence of Tyree Nichols. I want y'all to know that that young man didn't have to lose his life. And though those black men beat him down at the second stop, there was a first stop, and there was some white people and other races that had a lot to do with it. And they should have also brought charges against them, not just fired, but murder. Everybody who touched, saw, smelled that young man that night should be charged with murder, because they were a part of a systematic murder. Let's say that. You know, from the time they pulled that man out of that car till the last scene we saw him at. And like I said, like, if you haven't taken the time to watch that, I get sometimes that some things are just so traumatic you can't. So I get that group of people. But if you're just saying you're not going to watch it and you're speaking on it, you're damn wrong. You don't know the facts. You have to see that video to understand what the hell you're speaking on, because you're ignorant. You're ignorant to a lot. And I watched the short version, then I watched the long version and all that. And when I tell you, it hurts my soul to see how many people didn't care. How many people allowed that to happen to that man. And he was innocent the whole time. And for his mother to be so close and him not to reach him, it was nothing but God. And like she said, he is definitely a message. He is definitely a martyr. He is definitely somebody that we have to see outright that didn't deserve what happened. And that the police not only need to come forth with being fined versus their whatever insurance that they have to carry, they also should lose their jobs. And there's nowhere else they can go to work another job. They can't transfer out or none of that. And it's just one time, one occurrence of any type of ill treatment to any type of person who's in custody. I mean, like, I'm talking about this. It's been at least 3 weeks since I saw this video. And it's like, it's so raw to me. Just seeing him and just how he suffered, man. Oh, that stuff just took my heart. It just took my heart. So let's do a moment of silence right now for Tyree. Yeah, man, we got work to do. We got to stop, sitting back and just being satisfied with a little crumbs that the white man is trying to give us, especially when it comes to like cases like this. It's not enough that, oh, you wanted to make it seem like it was black on black crime. What is more shocking is that you put black people in front of this to make us with that mental play. And then behind the scenes, initially, you wouldn't even reveal the white cop with the taser, his own private cups and all that other stuff, You wouldn't even reveal that. And then, once you did, then you want to take a little more time, talk about you investigating before you let him go. But you quickly investigated, the black men. And it's not about being in another place and all the different evidence. Y'all need to stop that fucking lying. When you want to do something quick, magically it happens. And y'all have seen it in every freaking police department. Let somebody they trying to catch, let somebody they trying to catch. What they do, they rush that DNA, they rush whatever, but everybody else still waiting. So it ain't on no case by case. Stop talking crazy to me. Stop talking crazy to me when I see what's going on. It's like, it's definitely what you want to do, how you want to do it. So don't get it when Ben Crump get on there and say, well, this should be, the model now moving forward on how crimes are investigated, and you say, no, it's a case by case, it's different. No, the fuck it ain't. If you rush it here, you can rush it there. If you do this there, you can do that there. Then ask them for their fucking rule book. Ask them for their fucking plan and see how you can damn implement that shit on that side. Y'all stop playing. And that's the problem with the police. Why isn't there a simple freaking across the board plan that they all understand, and stop deviating from the means and doing all kinds of other stuff and killing people? Like, that boy did not deserve to die. He did nothing wrong. And then it's already stuff coming about his ties as far as just his ancestry and then people he's tied to in this. It's like, there's a message in this. he didn't die in vain, and we can't let him. We gotta stay on top of this thing, y'all. And it shouldn't be nobody, especially that white guy, shouldn't just be fired. He should be charged with murder too. And all the motherfuckers can plead not guilty. I guarantee you they should all be guilty. And if they try to switch up with he did this and he did that, y'all all watch this man die. Y'all all watch this man die. And the damn white man, and y'all need to make sure y'all remember this. That white man said, go beat his ass. Go fuck him up. Listen to the damn tape. Go sit down and listen to that damn tape. If and when I can get a link, I will definitely put it in my comments so you can directly go listen to that. Because that white man was already mad at him, and when he was trying to tase him and Tyree got away, that was God. That was God. It's just the fact that he really had to, lose his life for us to see this shit. And the sad part is that second video is from a street cam, which means what? Somebody didn't give up their cameras for that second video, because it's not like all the footage. Like, some of the footage is there, but that last part where they was really giving it to him and looked like he was really, losing his life, they did not show that close up. But you know why. Then they put the black chief on there, which is a female, again, using that mental black shit. Y'all got to see it for what it is, and that's real talk. She come on there, we did this so quick and all this other stuff. Yeah, the chief. No, chief, hold up, slow the fuck down. Yeah, girl power and all that shit. Why in the hell were you so quick to fire these men? But you got the white dude over here under investigation, and now he fired, but then no charges. And you didn't release his information first. Come on now, sis. Be for real. Yeah, so I'm going to leave y'all with them thoughts with Tyree. Please keep his family in your prayers. Please keep my family in your prayers, and I will do the same for you. Continue to watch, like, comment, follow, and share. I need all of that, and I need y'all to tap into TriveVibeLLC.com. Shop with me, all right? Get into the blog. Talk to me. Give me things to talk about. Reach out if you want to be on the show. I want you on the show. I want to not just talk to myself. I want to have another voice on here and have other conversation. And I may have some upcoming guests coming and some surprises soon to come. Just stay tuned, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But most importantly, thank y'all for continuing to fuck with me. Reparations is a thing that all black of slaves and slave descendants should have. And it should be like yesterday, not no more, It should be land, and it should be monetary. And I don't think or feel that anything under $500K should be a starting conversation for the monetary part. And then for and I'm not even blinking, and I wish somebody would be writing down here or under the comments about what do you mean 500K? I said fucking 500K, because we need to stop minimizing who the fuck we are and the worth that we have, because most of these streets that these motherfuckers are walking, we built that shit. These buildings, these railroads, and all of that shit. Okay? I'm going to leave you with it. Y'all be easy. Trive. Now, somewhere somebody got to get paid, so here's the promo. Let's check out TriveVibeLLC.com. Make sure you check out the blog. Leave a comment. Join and subscribe so you can get some free tutorials. And if you a gamer, man, tap in. Let's play online. Follow us on Twitch. All that good stuff. I got all the links, social media, podcasting. We're on all platforms, and it's been great to come to the point where I can say that we're going to share the love. Keep tapped in. And when you purchase something, when you comment something, you get a chance, enter to get a chance to win some free merch. So remember that. Let's keep it going. Trive Vibe.